The two school superintendents and your township supervisor, actually they called me and asked me, do you have any experience in building partnerships in communities? And actually I do happen to have quite a bit of experience in that. And they said, well, how would you approach it? And I said, well, we need to get a group of people together and sign a partnering agreement. And that partnering agreement should specify some of the goals we want to achieve, our mission statement, and how we intend to do it. And that partnering agreement is in your package tonight for the new folks. Okay, it's right after the agenda. And that partnering agreement lays out our vision, the rules of how we're going to work together, and our goals. So we got together and signed that, did that in September, and then we began a series of meetings. So this is, by the way, the fifth meeting that we've had as a partnership. So we've met November 10th, November 30th, December 15th, and actually January 4th. And what we did is we got together and we defined a bunch of projects that we want to work on. And this is where we stand right now. Some of the projects we're working on, you can see them on the agenda, things like flag football, tutoring, after school programming, a free summer meal program. I'm not going to go over them all, but those are the things we've done. And in your package, you'll also see a whole list of the accomplishments of this effort, okay, that was provided to the superintendents. We've got over 83 members signed up for the effort so far, and we received a lot of positive press. And for those of you that want to know what the mission statement, by working together collaboratively, we, the Partnership for Building a Better Redford, want to help Redford thrive by strengthening our community as a great place for people to live, work, and play. So where we are now in this process is we're beginning to actually accomplish some of these projects. For you new folks, we're going to separate out in about 10 minutes into project groups, and you're going to get a chance to pick a group that you want to work on. So if you're interested in Neighborhood Watch, there'll be a group working on that. If you're interested in an art summit, flag football, tutoring, I think you know where I'm headed, so you'll go to the table where that activity is occurring. And each table is going to have a little tent on it, okay, that will help you figure out where you need to go. So what we want to do is we want to get those projects implemented and delivered and build a sustainable structure. I'm a management consultant, and my contract ends at the end of March. And one of my objectives is to transfer my role to Redford, so you don't have to depend on an outside consultant to get this done. And what we did last time, if you remember, is we actually talked about that for about 15 minutes. And I presented this little challenge to you. I said, okay, we've got a movement, do you want to involve this into an institution, a more formal organization? And a movement is a diffusely organized group tending towards a common goal. An institution will be an organization devoted to a particular cause. And if we became a formal organization, institution, you would need to get legal standing, set up governance. That would mean a board, official leaders, tools, budget, and all of that. And a lot of you supported that sort of generally, but I said, well, let's go a little deeper. And we got together after the last meeting with Jay Johnson, Robin Strong, Althea Lockridge, and Jennifer Curlin. You want to raise your hand, Jennifer, Jay? So you're the guilty parties that went and actually decided to do something. But they got a free lunch out of it. Okay? So here's some of the comments that they said at that lunch meeting. If the organization creates stress for the people, they won't commit. So how many of you want to come to a night like this and be stressed out? Anyone want that? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you want to actually enjoy yourselves, to actually accomplish something? Yes. Okay. Meet your neighbors. Feel connected. That's what we're trying to do here. Most people don't want obligations. If there is a tie that binds them, they don't want to sign up. So you don't want to come out of here with a book that you have to read and 6 things you have to do, right? If you want to do that, that's great. Okay, if it turns you on, puts fuel in your gas tank, good. But if you don't want to do it and you feel like you have to, it gets to be a drag. There are a lot of organizations in Redford that are doing community-minded work. The Moose, the Elk, the Knights of Columbus, and the JCs, and there's probably others not listed here. The Lions just disbanded because of lack of members. The JCs have a similar list of community projects as the Partnership. Too many conflicts are caused by who's going to be the next president. So how many next presidents do we have here? Probably 20 or 30, right? No, Robin, not you. No one here wants to be president. I didn't really think so. But anyway, occasionally there's always 2 or 3 people that want to be president, and a lot of times they go like this. A board can help give structure to an organization. It might be a good idea to have the project leaders form a council, and the JCs can provide a facilitator. So you're starting to see a solution emerge, perhaps something in between a grassroots movement and a formal structure. So the recommendation was stay with the grassroots organization, but firm it up some. So the idea would be to create some bylaws that would define a leadership council and complement the partnering agreement. So bylaws might say we're going to meet once a month or once every 2 months, and in between there's going to be a steering committee made up of the leaders of the project teams. The main members of the council would be the team leaders, a better name than project leader because some teams may not have projects, like the communications outreach team. And the JCs will explore providing a facilitator to take over when Charlie leaves. Well, the JCs explored that and Charlie Fleetham explored it, and we actually came up with 2 people that can back each other up in this process. That's Jay Johnson and Fred Ghostman have volunteered to take over the Project Innovations role. So that means they're going to develop the agenda for these meetings. They're going to be responsible for keeping the documentation of the projects and the team efforts. They'll be responsible for convening the steering council when it starts to meet. So there are 2 guys for now, so I'd like to have them come on up here and introduce themselves to you, why they would be crazy enough to take on such a role, all right? And give you a chance to ask them some questions, okay? Fred, come on up. Let's hear it for these guys. First time they met each other, of course. Okay, good.
Fred Guzman. I'm new to the community. I've lived here about 3 years, and I've been involved. I've worked in the community probably 6 years, so I've been here a little bit longer. I have an interest in a specific program. Is how I got involved in this group, and I'm also just finishing a master's program in public administration. So all these things kind of tie into my interest with this organization here. So I'm kind of excited about getting involved and seeing what I can do. I'll also start tonight a culture team that kind of goes along with this project that I'm trying to do.
Why don't you tell them about the culture team real quick, because they haven't heard it yet.
Okay, so
what are you trying to do with that culture team? It's very exciting.
So specifically, I want to start a project that's working with high school students, and it's focused on travel and education and getting kids more interested in culture and international, not so much travel, but the whole idea of international and getting out and realizing that there's more to our world than just this community. But then at the same time, I want to bring in different aspects to that and integrate them. So there would be projects, side projects dealing with the community, and the whole idea of bringing South Redford and Redford Union together is kind of works with that really well. So everything kind of hand in hand. So the culture team, though, I envision would be a little bit more encompassing than just this. This would be maybe one project under that.
Okay. Thanks, Fred.
Yep.
Jay?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jay Johnson. I have had the opportunity to meet a lot of you. So, one of the hats that I wear is I am the president of the Redford JCs, which is a community leadership development organization. What we do is we train young people between the ages of 21 and 41 how to be leaders and how to get engaged in the community, and we do that through community projects. So our haunted houses are a lot of our flagship events. You've also seen us out at Oktoberfest. Whether you realize it or not, we now wear Redford Red, as we call it, T-shirts and other apparel. So keep an eye out for us. You'll see us at most of your community events. Another hat that I wear is I run a company based here in Redford called WorldLink Communications. And what we do is public relations, marketing, and people interpersonal engagement. And that is something that kind of brought interest to me both here and within the JCs. So as a homeowner in Redford and a business owner in Redford, And I was recently appointed as the field representative for the county commissioner's office here in Redford. So if you have any county